Thank you, Nikki. Thank you. So I'm just going to go ahead and start with reading Dreamer's Powerful Tiger. Once upon a time, in a village near the edge of the jungle, lived a 5-year-old boy named Dreamer. Dreamer lived with his mother, father, sister, and grandmother in a bamboo hut perched on stilts. Like all the other families in the village, every morning at breakfast, they shared their most memorable dreams from the night before. Usually, at least one of Dreamer's family members had a gift to share from a dream they had. His grandmother was offered songs from her dream allies, and his mother was taught new dances from hers. His father was often called Bridger, an honor that meant he was gifted with good ideas in his dreams for projects to contribute to the community. Others in the village supported his ideas with respect and helped him create them in the waking world. One such example of this was his design to help people cross the river nearby. To the dream people, dreams were considered the highest social authority, and since Dreamer's father's dreams, his dream ideas usually worked, his helpers eagerly participated to help him, all the while referring to him as Bridger. Dreamer's 10-year-old sister Seer had recently discovered that she had the ability to dream important events before they happened. This gift was acknowledged and taken seriously by the community, and Dreamer's family listened in a different way to Seer's dreams, especially when she said she felt them to be this type of dream. One morning at breakfast, Dreamer began to cry hot tears into his rice and coconut milk. He had dreamed a terrifying nightmare. When he caught his breath, he told his family about the dream. In his dream, a fierce tiger, the animal that most threatened the lives of the dream people, was chasing him through the jungle to eat him. When he looked up from telling the dream, he saw that his sister was smiling. "Why is she smiling?" he asked. "That dream was not funny." His mother spoke softly. "Seer is smiling because when she was your age, she had the same dream. A tiger visits the dreams of all the dream people children when they are ready to learn." "What does it mean?" Dreamer asked. Dreamer's mother traced with her finger a design she had carved into the table. It looked like this. "This is the dream world," she explained to him, "and this is the waking world." The dream people believed that these two worlds were equal in validity and importance. Dreamer's mother taught him that he weaved back and forth between the two worlds each day and night, and that he had to learn the differences between the two worlds so that he could grow healthy and strong in every way and bring joy and assistance to his people as he got older. Because dreams were respected, talked about, and weaved as bridges into waking life, the dream people had lived in peace with each other without violence and crime for more than 300 years. Then Dreamer's father spoke. "The tiger in the dream is your animal energy," he said. "Just like everything else in your dream, he is a part of you. It is important that you talk to this tiger. See if you can get to know him and become friends with him so he can help you and become your dream ally." "What will I say to him?" Dreamer asked hesitantly. "Ask him what he wants. his father instructed. I know what he wants. He wants to eat me. I'm so afraid of him, Father. What can I do? You must learn to be a Dreamtime warrior and face your fears. The tiger living in your dream world should be on your side, but right now he is not. If you are the most important person in your dream, and everyone is supportive and helpful to you in the dream world, then it will be easier for you to be helpful and supportive to others, my son, when you are awake. Tend to your dreams, and soon you will be able to offer yourself to the benefit of our whole community. If you have dream characters working against you at night, you will feel discontent the next day, and it will be hard for you to think about the needs of others. You might not understand this now, but you will soon. Dreamer thought about the times he had seen his family give and receive gifts because of something someone had done to another in a dream that was not very nice, or because someone was thanking another for helping them in the dream world. The gift-giving, he noticed, seemed to improve the goodwill between everyone in both worlds. I feel pretty bad right now, admitted young Dreamer. Father advised, then why don't you try to talk to your tiger tonight and explain to him whose dream it is? You can do this. Just face him and talk to him and see if he is willing to be your friend. That night, Dreamer went to sleep and dreamed himself back into the dream with the tiger. As he was being chased, he stopped quickly, faced the tiger, and yelled, "What do you want? Please be my friend. Stop chasing me." The tiger furiously licked his chops. He smiled and said, "Of course you know what I want. To eat you!" And with a ferocious roar, he leaped at Dreamer, who woke up shaking and sweating. The next morning at breakfast, everyone wanted to know how Dreamer had fared in his dream with the tiger. Frustrated with himself, he told them what had happened. His mother comforted him with this: in the dream world, you can call upon any one of us to join you and help you. You can pack a bag of tools, such as rope and anything else you might need. Try to talk some sense into your animal energy, Dreamer, before it gets the best of you, she advised. Seer then offered to her brother, "If you bring a bag with some rope, I will meet you in your dream tonight and try to help you." As he drifted to sleep that night, he envisioned a bag with a long, sturdy rope in it. He slung it over his shoulder and soon headed into the jungle where the tiger proceeded to chase him. Suddenly, he heard from behind a large palm tree, "Throw me one end of the rope." It was Seer. Dreamer threw her one end of the rope, and as the tiger charged forward, the two of them caught him just under his forelegs and quickly tied him to the tree. As the tiger snarled and snapped at them, they quickly wrapped the rope around and around him until he was secured. The two children went off into the dream and gathered some gifts to give to the tiger in hopes that Dreamer could befriend him. They gathered seeds, berries, and other fruit, and even brought the tiger a rabbit to eat. After they fed the tiger, he seemed for a moment to be satisfied. But when Dreamer informed him that as the dreamer he was number one in the dream, the tiger said, "That's very nice. Thank you for the food. It was a good appetizer. But when I get untied from this rope, I'm going to eat you and your sister too." What a stubborn tiger! Dreamer did not know what to do. The next morning, Dreamer, a little shaken, but feeling stronger, told his family what happened, and they all agreed that this was a very powerful and stubborn tiger. Dreamer's grandmother, who seemed pleased with the power of his tiger, then spoke. "You know, Dreamer," she said, "sometimes if someone or something in our dreams is a negative, and we try to make friends but it's too strong of a negative, we have to take more drastic measures to turn it into a positive. I think you might have to kill that tiger, Dreamer." "What?" he protested. "Why would I want to kill my own animal energy? If it's part of me, why would I do that?" "Because," grandmother said, "positive parts of you will never die in the dream world. Anything that dies in a dream is something negative that needs to change so you can grow. Try as you might, in your dreams, a positive part of you will never die. But a negative, like this tiger working against you, it is a challenge to get these parts of us to die in dreams. That is because change can be very difficult at first. If you kill this tiger and transform him into a positive, you will feel a big difference when you are awake." "I don't know how to do it. I'm too young," said Dreamer. Then his father said, "Call upon me in your dream, and I will spear him for you." That night, Dreamer met his father in the dream, and together they approached the tree where the tiger had been left all tied up. With one last protesting roar, the tiger raged as Dreamer's father speared him to his death, at which time Dreamer woke up. All morning, Dreamer felt very heavy and could not eat. It felt to him as if a rain cloud was over his head and could not go away. He asked his grandmother why he did not feel better as she said he would. Her answer was this: "Dreamer, you did not transform him yet. You killed him with your father's image to help you do it. You feel bad because you are carrying around the weight of a dead tiger inside of you. Everything that happens in the waking world affects the dream world, and everything that happens in the dream world affects the waking world. That is how it is." Dreamer looked at his mother with eyes that said, "Help." "There are 3 ways you can choose from to transform this tiger," his mother said. "The first one is to ask your dream allies to carry the body of the tiger over to a fire pit where you can cook him and have a big feast to share his meat with the village in your dream. You can eat him." Dreamer could not believe what he just heard. "Eat a tiger? We never eat tigers." "Yes, I know," she replied, "but in the dream it is different. When you are awake, do tigers talk?" "No, they don't. But in your dream, he spoke to you as we speak. You can eat a tiger in your dream, and that would send his powerful animal energy into your dream body and make you stronger. You might have to get used to the taste." "No way," Dreamer declared. "I'm not eating him. What is another way, Mother?" "The second choice is to carry his body with the help of your dream allies to a large bonfire and let his body burn down into ashes. Once the ashes are cool, this can happen very quickly in a dream. Let the whole village help you cultivate a piece of land and nourish the soil with the tiger's ashes for a garden. You can grow many nourishing fruits and vegetables, and everyone can eat for your beautiful dream garden that you grow in an instant." That sounds better," Dreamer replied. "But I want to know what the third choice is." "The third choice," she said, is to burn his body to ashes, let them cool, and then gather them up in your arms like this, and throw them up in the air, and let them fall into the shape of a new tiger, one that is strong but calm and wants to be your friend. That's it, he said. That's the one I choose. That night, Dreamer dreamed that his father and a few others from the village carried the dead tiger over to a bonfire they had prepared. After the body transformed into ashes, Dreamer gathered them up in his arms and threw them up in the air, and as they landed, they formed the shape of a new tiger, glowing with light and warmth. The tiger approached Dreamer, who placed his arms around his neck and held his forehead to the tiger's forehead in a loving embrace. In the dream, Grandmother instructed Dreamer to name him. Dreamer said, "I name you Stormy. It means friend." He climbed onto Stormy's back and rode off into the jungle to have some adventures. For the next couple of years, Dreamer's dreams almost always had Stormy by his side or taking him for rides all over the place. When trouble came up for Dreamer in his dreams, Stormy was his protector and helped him by eating up anything that tried to hurt him or work against him in his dreams. When Dreamer was awake, he brought joy to his friends and family by sharing adventurous dream stories and creating little sculptures of himself and Stormy and his other dream characters. Then, one day, when Dreamer was 7, Stormy disappeared from his dreams. Terribly upset, he asked his family why this was happening. Seer explained to him that Stormy was not gone forever, but that once again it was time for Dreamer to learn a new lesson. This time, it was how to live and survive in the dream jungle without the aid of his protective friend. For Dreamer, the following year was filled with learning awareness skills for his dreaming. He spent many hours in his daydreams practicing such things as levitating to high cliffs and then turning around and jumping off to land softly on the ground, and then turning up and levitating up to the top of the cliff and then jumping off and landing softly to the ground again and again like that. He practiced in his dreams at night, turning falling dreams into flying dreams, and then landing there to see what he would find. By the time he was 8, Dreamer could take care of himself in his dreams, and he never felt afraid of them anymore. He was able to feel awake in the dream world and more social in the waking world. When Dreamer became a lucid dream warrior at the age of 8, he was visited once again by Stormy in his dream. They embraced as they did when Stormy first received his name. It was understood that Stormy would always be there for him as a friend and a guide, and sometimes a ride, but that Dreamer did not need to rely on him for a feeling of safety anymore. Still, they continued to have adventures together, just for the fun of it. The end. And now, I'm going to read to you from the front of the book, the note to parents. So, young children under the age of 7 often dream about animals, and they also dream a lot about being chased. Often it is an animal in some form that is doing the chasing. Dreams of being chased give children opportunities to face their own animal instincts and tame antisocial behavior in waking life. However, when this rite of passage is not recognized and guided at the outset, chasing dreams can continue for years. Most parents do not know what to do when their children have normal developmental nightmares, such as being chased by an animal, dragon, troll, witch, what have you, other than to say it's not real or it's just a dream. However, those statements do not usually convince children because they experience dreams to be very real. Great strides have been made in the scientific study of lucid dreaming over the past few decades. However, many non-Western societies have known about lucid dreaming by other names according to each culture for much longer than that. Lucid dreaming is a very effective, learnable skill for all ages and is highly effective for transforming nightmares. Teaching children about dreams as they grow and develop not only empowers them, it also strengthens and deepens your relationship with them. Dreamer's Powerful Tiger values and honors the inner life as well as the outer life of children and shows how lucid dreamwork and dreamplay can benefit a child's relationship to his or her family and community. In this book, Dreamer and his family explore the powerful feelings that arise for children developmentally with chasing and animal dreams, and suggest a comprehensive Sonoy-inspired approach to coping with, resolving, learning, and growing from them. Why did I write this book? In the 1960s, my father, Robert F. Morgan, Ph.D., read Kilton Stewart's writings about the Sonoy dream people, and like many psychologists, was interested in dreams. As a young child in the early 1970s, I felt very comfortable talking with my dad about my dreams. Relying primarily on Kilton Stewart's model for dream education based on what Stewart learned from the Sonoy Temiyar tribe in the 1930s. My father became my first dream guide. He taught me to work with my dreams and nightmares, and his loving, supportive interest in my dreams was invaluable to me. When I was a teenager, my dreams became more intense, and I once again became initiated by a whole new level of nightmares. Fortunately, I benefited from the Dreamtime guidance of an extended family member, Eduardo Duran, Ph.D. Ed Duran has written some powerful books from the perspective of his Native American heritage, including Native American Post-Colonial Psychology, Buddha in Red Face, and Healing the Soul Wound, which I recommend all three of those books highly. While I was an undergraduate student at UCLA, I met my next dream teacher, who was the widow of Kilton Stewart, Clara Stewart Flagg. For years, I studied with Clara, participated in her dream group with her husband, Alan Flagg, and listened to her stories of the Sonoy Temiyars as Kilton had known them in the 1930s. After Kilton Stewart was in Malaya in the 1930s, which is now Malaysia, it was Malaya, now Malaysia, Sonoy Temiyar culture was transformed by the introduction of weapons, war, occupation, the logging industry, and more. After Clara passed away in 1995, she visited me in a dream. That same year, I began facilitating dream circles and stimulating communities in California and Oregon with the seeds of Sonoy-inspired cross-cultural dream education. In my experience, dream circling and other forms of dream work can help empower individuals with sympathy, understanding, self-esteem, and a sense of community. In my opinion, honoring and working with our dreams in a community of safety and trust replaces the decrepit paradigm of an unsafe, untrusting world. I believe dream sharing circles can benefit the psychological health of any group wishing to find truthful daily interactions. I originally wrote the story within Dreamer's Powerful Tiger to help teach Sonoy-inspired dream work. I have told it in many different ways using different character names, but its foundation has always remained the same. Based on true stories passed down from Kilton to Clara to me, I created a specific family of characters to help more personally convey aspects of the Sonoy Temiyar relationship to dreams as Kilton Stewart experienced it. However, I would like to clarify that this book does not aim or intend to anthropologically portray the Sonoy Temiyar people and their culture. Out of respect, I would never claim that. I do want to express my gratitude to the Sonoy Temyar culture and ancestors for inspiring me on my creative path with this book and in the field of dream psychology, as they have inspired many others in the field since the pioneering work of Kilton Stewart, Ph.D. I also feel grateful to have had the profound experience of collaborating on the illustrations for this book with my talented daughter, Akasha Golden Wolf Morgan. Akasha and I here present Dreamer and his family imbued with an abstract cross-cultural identity. We imagine the family in this book to be of the present and future rather than the past. Although I reverently acknowledge its sources of inspiration, this original book and story offers many new gifts. Our hope is that Dreamer and his family, as imagined and pictured here, will reach the hearts of all our human family and help create a more peaceful, healthy world. Thank you. So the next part of my talk tonight is based on Chapter 5 of this other book. It's called Sleep Monsters and Superheroes, Empowering Children Through Creative Dreamplay. And my chapter is Chapter 5, and that's what I am drawing from to talk a little more about developmental lucid dreaming for children and teens from a different perspective than a storybook. And I'm calling this Dragons, Angels, and Rites of Passage, Developmental Lucid Dreaming for Children and Teens. 4-year-old Lynn had a dream. I was in a very big and special chair. 9 people who seemed more like angels came through a mist of glittering light. Each brought a special gift. Dreaming is a universal language that unites all people, regardless of cultural, historical, and social differences. Dragons mean a lot of different things in different cultures, right? In the world of dreams, I'm looking through the lens of dragons representing important lessons that children, teens, and adults can learn from their dreams. Similarly to the tiger in Dreamer's Powerful Tiger, to face fears, integrate animal instincts, tame antisocial behavior, and feel empowered to soar to great heights. Angels appear in many forms in young people's dreams, often to integrate spiritual guidance, parental guidance, and teacher guidance. Adults can help improve children's lives by consciously recognizing developmental dream opportunities and guiding children to act upon them. So, comparing the child development theories of Jean Piaget and Rudolf Steiner, I'm going to briefly outline some age-appropriate activities from the DreamBridge Dream Arts curriculum, and this is my work that I do. I call it DreamBridge, and that's the logo for that. Negative language about dreams in Western culture has perpetuated negative associations. Books and movies say bad dreams. It was just a dream, only a dream. And when something bad happens, what a nightmare, right? All dreams are good. When we recognize we've been culturally belittling dreams, we can also decide we have the power to change those habits. All dreams are good if we understand they speak in a dream language that can be learned, and they come in the service of healing and wholeness, as the late, great Jeremy Taylor used to say. So dream development. Dreams mirror waking life development, and they also influence waking life development. Again, like in Dreamer's Powerful Tiger, there was that weaving back and forth. So making dream sharing fun and natural for children is really important. Young children often share dreams as soon as they can speak in their mother tongue. They are not always able to articulate what they've been dreaming, but that does not make their dream experiences any less profound or important. Ordinary dreams speak in a universal language of puzzles, and some can take many years for dreamers to solve. Most dream sentences are formed with symbols, metaphors, and puns. For example, a mother set the intention to cut all unhealthy cords between herself and her daughter that she felt were burdening their relationship. The next morning, the child awoke crying and reported this dream. 5-year-old Julie dreamed, "I'm in the water and Mom is in the back of the boat. She has an old rope that she's pulling away from me. I'm reaching for it, but I can't get it. There's a ring that I'm holding on to." So when Carl Jung was 3.5, he had a dream, a very big dream, and this was it. It was a magnificent throne, a real king's throne in a fairy tale. Something was standing on it, which I thought at first was a tree trunk 12 to 15 feet high and about 1.5 to 2 feet thick. But it was of a curious composition. It was made of skin and naked flesh, and on the top there was something like a rounded head with no face and no hair. The thing did not move, yet I had the feeling it might at any moment crawl off the throne like a worm and creep toward me. I was paralyzed with terror. As an adult, Carl Jung reflected, this dream haunted me for years. Only much later did I realize that what I had seen was a phallus, and it was decades before I understood that it was a ritual phallus. And this is important because it reminds us that sometimes little children dream big, and they cannot always comfortably report much of what they experience during sleep. Children under age 7, oh, by the way, that's my daughter Akasha when she was 4. She's now 27. Children under age 7 generally think through doing, and they learn through imitation, and they feel most comfortable sharing dreams with a close relative they feel safe and comfortable with and trust. It's a powerfully open and vulnerable stage, so what parents and educators say and do is important modeling for this stage of development. Addressing children. This is for all dream guides out there. When you're addressing children, respect their journey with dreams. Please approach the opportunity to guide them in their dream development as a great honor. And that's my son Luke. He's 24 now. 2 questions that are useful for adults to ask themselves before approaching dreams with children. Are my words and actions worthy of a young child's imitation? They learn through imitation. And do I model dream sharing with children in a positive and fun way? Dream positive societies. Many indigenous cultures have practiced sharing and discussing dreams with children and offering culturally specific guidance. Some examples, the Sonoy Tamiara of Malaysia, Guarani of Brazil, the Mapuche of Chile, Tibetan monks, Australian Aboriginals, and of course Native American tribes. No matter what society you live in, you can help normalize dream sharing and make it a positive, empowering experience for children. So getting started, even if you think it is a bad dream, for example, a nightmare, please do not tell children it wasn't real or it was just a dream. And parents do this, and I understand completely why, right? We want them to feel better. But according to Piaget's preoperational stage, from ages 2 to 7, for children who are not yet able to conceptualize abstractly and need concrete physical situations, dreams and nightmares are very real. Why does it rain? You hear children ask that. Why does it rain? The magical thinking phase of the young child, in which a 3-year-old believes it rains, so the flowers can grow is natural and healthy. It helps young children develop the confidence they need to be creative later in life. And this is table 1, our first table of my talk tonight, and that's Theories of Piaget and Steiner in Correspondence to Morgan's Dream Arts Curriculum. When you look at Piaget's stages, like I just said, from ages 2 to 7, Piaget called it the pre-operational stage, where the child is not yet able to conceptualize abstractly and needs concrete physical situations. Rudolf Steiner's rhythms, from ages 0 to 7, the young child thinks through doing and learns through imitation. So in the DreamBridge curriculum, from ages 0 to 7, my focus with my work is on parent dream education, pro-empowerment, anti-fear, dream art, and dream puppet theater. So this first Dream Arts curriculum table emphasizes adults and young children's lives learning about dreams and nightmares, modeling positive dream sharing, guiding activities such as drawing or painting a dream. Children love this. Young children really, they love it. And dream puppet shows, playing out what happened in their dream. The Friendly Giant. As a young child, my psychologist father taught me about dreams, relying on Kilton Stewart's model for dream education, based on what Stewart learned from the Sonoy Temyar in the 1930s. So one night when I was 4, I awoke from a nightmare and I called for my dad. And he said, "The next time you have a scary dream, look for a friendly giant to protect you. When you need him, just whistle. You know how to whistle, right?" And I practiced whistling. I said, "Okay, yes, I got it." So he went away and I went back to sleep, and immediately the nightmare came back and it woke me up. And I sat up in bed and started whistling in my bed. And he never showed up. So I got up and marched into my parents' room and I said, I whistled and you never came." Because in my 4-year-old brain, I'm thinking, he's the friendliest giant that I know. So then he explained to me that I could call on him or any other ally when I was still in a dream or re-entering a dream. And that anything I needed to help me in my dream adventures, I could imagine. And eventually I could do things myself that I had needed dream allies to help me with before. Most importantly, my fear went away without trying to make the dreams go away. Lucid dream allies can be parental figures, teachers, siblings, pets, best friends, favorite fictional characters, superheroes, friendly wizards and witches. They can be fantasy beings, such as fairies, elves, dwarves, giants, sprites, gnomes, and angels. They can be favorite stuffed animals and dolls. So chasing dreams. There's Dreamer running from the tiger. Young children under 7 often dream about animals and about being chased, and often it is an animal in some form doing the chasing, right? Missed opportunities for lucid dreaming. Dreams of being chased give children opportunities to face their own animal instincts, tame antisocial behavior in waking life. But when this rite of passage is not recognized and guided at the outset, chasing dreams can continue for years, and certainly into adulthood for many people. So for example, an older boy in India had this dream. 11-year-old Anshu dreamed, "I am walking and suddenly a dog starts chasing me. I'm terrified. If the dog bites me, I will have 14 injections. I start crying." Unmet needs. There are many variables that come with living a social life, and stress from waking life finds expression in children's nightmares. So it helps to explain to children that they are number one in the dream, and all of their needs and wishes can be fulfilled in dreams. When children feel their needs are met in their dreams, they feel more content in waking life from the inside out. Inner peace helps children and adults feel empowered to become more selfless, considerate, and generous to others in waking life. And if you think about it, when someone's really mean and lashing out to people, there's some pain going on in there. As soon as children realize within the dream that they're dreaming, they cross a threshold into lucid dreaming. This opens doors to many creative possibilities. For example, falling dreams can turn into flying dreams. 8-year-old Amit dreamed, "I'm flying like a bird while the moon is shining, and some birds are also awakened and flying with me." It helps to tell children, flying in dreams can help you escape scary situations, especially before you find the courage to face what is chasing you in your dream. And whatever chases you is a part of you, your dreaming mind. Whatever animal or monster, it probably has a gift for you when you feel ready to find out what it is. 8-year-old Kathy dreamed, "The earliest dream I remember was about a yellow dragon that could breathe fire out of its tail, nose, mouth, and left foot." I just thought that was cute. Table 2, theories of Piaget and Steiner, in correspondence to the Dreambridge curriculum. So in Piaget's stages from ages 7 to 11, he called those concrete operations. As physical experience accumulates, the child starts to conceptualize, creating logical structures that explain their physical experiences. And in Steiner's rhythms, from ages 7 to 14, the child thinks in pictures and learns through the feelings. So in the Dreambridge curriculum, ages 7 to 10, the children listen to and retell multicultural dream stories. There's drawing, painting, and collage from dream stories, and older children write their own stories, poems, and plays from dream stories. Also, dream journaling is very popular at that age. You can start dream journaling with younger children than that, but it's more often than not the parents who are doing the journaling, listening to the child reporting it. So this table 2 emphasizes increased learning capacities after the change of teeth, increased creative capacities in waking life and in dreams, an increased split between their inner private and outer public worlds, and an increased interest in adventure stories. It's a great time for Dreamer's Powerful Tiger. They love that one. So lucid dreamtime warriors, to help children of any age become lucid dreamtime warriors. Again, kids love that, lucid dreamtime warriors. When they report nightmares, first calmly just acknowledge that something just happened to them that felt scary. So instead of saying, "It's just a dream, it's only a dream," okay, something just happened that felt scary. Then reassure them, you are brave, and you have dream allies. You are safe in your dreams, and you do not need to feel afraid. You, the dreamer, are number one in your dream, and everyone in your dream should be helpful and friendly to you. Lucid Dreamtime warriors can practice facing opposing forces with courage and allies. Find a good place to land after flying in dreams and feel their bare feet touch the earth, which is very grounding for waking life. That's something Clara taught me. And it's just a wonderful experience to fly in a lucid dream, but then land somewhere. Feel the earth under your feet. Just feel that. It's very grounding when you wake up the next day. Lucid Dreamtime warriors can create a magic backpack, like the one Dreamer had, that holds anything they need simply by imagining it. I also compare this to Mary Poppins' carpet bag. You pull anything out that you imagine. Lucid Dreamtime warriors can make things happen, appear, and change in dreams simply by thinking about it. Okay, in a lucid dream, it's raining, you think about an umbrella, boop, there it is. Lucid Dreamtime warriors can use a magic wand or a lightsaber to be creative, focus energy, or protect themselves and others on their lucid dream adventures. They can practice spells from famous characters such as Merlin, Morgan Le Fay, and Harry Potter. Speaking of Harry Potter, Ed Kellogg, lucid dream researcher here in Ashland, had a Harry Potter lucid dreaming challenge for children to become lucid in a dream. This is many years ago, when my children were still younger. And the challenge was to try to cast one of the spells from the Harry Potter series in the dream to see what happens. So one night, both my children tried it. And the next morning, my son told me that he had gotten as far as holding a wand, but before he could cast a spell, he was distracted by other things going on in the dream. And he was 10 years old at the time. My daughter, who was 13, walked down the stairs and announced, "I did it!" In my dream, I entered a dark room, made my wand light up the area by saying Lumos. So there are special needs for teen lucid dreamers. So let's talk about that. In Table 3, the final table of this talk on Piaget and Steiner, in correspondence to the Dreambridge curriculum. So ages 11 to 15 in Piaget's stages are called formal operations, where the child's cognitive structures are like those of an adult and include conceptual reasoning. That doesn't mean they're adults, right? It means their cognitive structures are like those of an adult and include conceptual reasoning. Rudolf Steiner broke these rhythms into two sections, the negation phase and the affirmation phase. So with the onset of puberty, the negation phase is opposing, refuting, and criticizing the world. And then ages 16 to 17, around that time, there's an affirmation phase where adolescents try to find their way into the life of the outer world. And so in the Dreambridge curriculum, for ages, I put it into the two sections there. Ages 11 to 13, we do active redreaming, lucid dreaming, dream art, dream writing and poetry, improvisational dream theater, which I'll talk about in a minute, and the dream journal, continuing with that. Ages 14 to 17, learn more about dream circle protocols, tools for transforming nightmares, and creative writing from dreams or nightmares. And this whole table emphasizes increased intellectual capacities after the onset of puberty, creating safe spaces to explore and share inner worlds in the dream circles, and intense feelings in adolescence increases theatrical capacities. Drama is very healthy for young teens. So this is, I'm going to give you an example of a little improvisational dream theater from a course that I do with ages 11 to 13 with 13-year-old Ruby's dream. She dreamed, "I'm in a green room with love seat and coffee table. I'm being chased around the furniture by a dragon and a little trollish looking person. We keep running in circles around and around. I'm screaming for help." So Ruby cast herself as herself. I always give them an opportunity to cast someone else or themselves as themselves. A boy is the love seat, me is the coffee table, another boy is the dragon, and another girl is the troll. So after acting out the dream, I asked Ruby, "How do you feel?" She said, "Scared, helpless, silly." I asked, "What would happen if you turned around and faced them?" She said, "I don't know, they might eat me." I said, "Do you want me to help you?" She said, "You're a coffee table." "Yes, but in dreams, coffee tables can help you. Do you want me to?" She said, "Yes." So we turned to face them and we started running the other way. We ran after them and they yelled, "Help, don't get us." And Ruby yelled, "Stop, we're not going to hurt you." And then we all laughed, fell to the floor, and I advised Ruby to offer her hand in friendship and to tell her new friends that they are her allies now. So, sex. After the onset of puberty, often teens dream about love interests, sex, and crushes. And sometimes there is an attraction in waking life. Other times, their crushes have talents and qualities that they identify with, respect, or admire, and they would like to integrate into their own personalities. And sometimes it's both. When dreams like these are shared by teens, it really helps to ask them, what is it about that friend, movie star, musician, or whomever that you like? What is it about them that you like? And then when they answer, you say, well, how would you like to be more like that? It's very validating when you can talk about these things with teens. Death. It is normal also for teenagers to experience nightmares about death. They're growing very fast toward adulthood and going through many changes. So dreams that feel negative are often metaphors for this growth and change and can actually be very positive. For example, apocalyptic nightmares can be a metaphor for a teen dreamer's entire world dramatically changing in waking life. And I can't tell you how many teens I've talked with about this, and the relief, it's like their shoulders, they just relax, because without that knowledge, nightmares can be terrifying. So my daughter, when she was 16, dreamed, for example, I'm on an island, fighter planes are flying overhead, bombs are dropping from inside the planes, exploding everywhere. So I beseech you, all of you lucid dream guides, adults working with teens, to explain that ordinary dreams speak in puzzles using symbols, metaphors, and puns. When I say ordinary, I mean the majority, most dreams, not all. And then to listen deeply in case their dream turns out to be extraordinary, in addition to lucid ones, including dreams within dreams. When it goes the other direction, those are called false awakenings, right? You go into a dream, you go to sleep in a dream, you have another dream, and so on. Out-of-body dreams, where they dream they can see themselves sleeping in bed, things like that. Telepathic dreams, precognitive dreams, clairvoyant, past life, initiation, spiritual, or visitation dreams. And this is a whole other talk, really, frankly. So it's easier for people who have experienced extraordinary dreams to detect them in others or believe in them. There are a lot of dream researchers out there who haven't experienced these types of dreams and will say they don't exist, for example. But there are psi dream researchers who study it because they've experienced it. And either way, no matter what you've experienced as a lucid dream guide for teens, it's best to give them the benefit of the doubt and listen to their concerns with an open mind. All right, so the lucid dreaming workout, I call it the lucid workout, for teens new to lucid dreaming, and actually this is great for adults who are new to lucid dreaming as well. It works just as well. This exercise will help them build lucid muscles so they can feel prepared for more advanced, creative, and playful lucid dreaming adventures. So you might recognize this from Dreamer's Powerful Tiger, but it's said it a different way in Sleep Monsters and Superheroes in Chapter 5. It's said like this. Tell them, as you prepare to go to sleep tonight, imagine that you are standing at the bottom of a cliff in a warm, beautiful landscape. Look around and notice all the details. Take a moment to feel the earth under your bare feet. Then imagine levitating up to the top of the cliff and landing there. Then turn around to face the edge. And imagine jumping off the edge of the cliff and slowly, gently landing down at the bottom where you began. Once again, feel the earth beneath your feet. Then they can repeat this exercise again and again until they fall asleep. The lucid workout helps teenagers experience how in lucid dreams the laws of physics do not apply the same way as they do in waking life. It helps them understand the important role the mind plays with experiences in dreams. And in lucid dreams, we can consciously choose to levitate, fly, and then land gently on the earth without a scratch. And in waking life, this can also translate as going up into the intellect, exploring inner space, and taking care to feel grounded again after all that adventure. So that's the end of that part of my talk from Chapter 5 of Sleep Monsters and Superheroes. And I have references available. I've printed out if anybody wants to take a picture on your phone or anything like that. I've got 2 pages of that. So now, the final leg of my talk. I'm going to offer 27 dream allies. And this is for all the children and inner children here tonight, whether in person or watching online. I offer myself to help you as a dream ally, for one. That's 1 out of 27. So if you're ever having a dream and you need some help, I'm happy to help you. And then 26 lucid dream allies from my first book, The Alpha Bliss of And this is the front cover of the book and the back cover of the book, and all of them except one are up there. I'll try and show you who they are. I want to introduce them to you. So it says in the front cover, this is, with your heart as your passport, travel through these pages. The journey on which you're about to embark will introduce 26 new friends in alphabetical order. They are all girls with their own gifts, strengths, and special qualities to share with you. They are your allies. They're always on your side. They want you and the world to know that being a girl is great. Women remember, and young girls look up to the Alpha Bliss of Miss. And this is for boys and men too, by the way. I write about that in the back flap, but I'll just introduce you. First, this is Annabelle. And Annabelle is right there. Annabelle sings from the depth of her heart, and the folks in her town know that Annabelle's smart. Aloud and alive do her lyrics abide, and she makes them all up as she goes with such pride. Batya is the next dream ally. Batya believes she can help see the truth. Just a tarp and a tent are what make up her roof. With a little sweet tea and a whole lot of nerve, Batya shines through her crystal ball, hoping to serve. And Batya is right there, right next to Annabelle. Katerina is the next one. And you'll notice these are fantasy beings, most of them. This is, Katerina is a little gnomie. Katerina cares for all things alive. When she works in the garden, she surely does strive. The hungry she'll feed, the lonely she'll friend. The wormies feel safe when Katerina does tend. The next one is Delilah. Delilah is a princess, and she has little fairies flying around her, laughing because, well, Delilah spins till she falls to the floor. And if someone is pouting, Delilah spins more. She once spun so much that it covered a mile. She can make us all smile with such grace and such style. You know how children will spin and spin and spin till they get dizzy and fall. The next one is Evangeline, right there. Evangeline tells all the fine fairy tales, with some sand for the river and castles are snails. She tells them by day, which is sure fun all right, but her favorite is telling by dusk firelight. And we have Francesca, right there. Francesca feels with her soul when she cooks, and she writes how she makes things in 39 books. Her soups and soufflés and all her good pies will fill many stomachs and please many eyes. Your next dream ally is Gwen. Gwen sees the light in each soul shining bright. Your best will arise when Gwen is in sight. Her actions do soar. She prevented a war, chanting peace to some 10,000 soldiers or more. For the letter H, we have Hannah. That was Gwen, and here we have Hannah. Hannah knows all of the names of the flowers. She knows some roots and herbs carry magical powers. To heal many wounds and to calm what is hurt is what Hannah can do with what grows in the dirt. Isha. Isha listens to all that is said with more than the ears on the sides of her head. She only will speak if she wants to confide. What a diverse group of dream allies. Jackie. So many different talents, right? Jackie is fast and Jackie can jump. She can climb a tall tree as if it were a stump. No one can compare with Jacqueline's flair, weaving land, ice, and air like the braids in her hair. Karya, our musician. Karya plays several instruments well. With her music, sweet Karya can cast quite a spell. With her flute and guitar, many drums and sitar, she has charmed kings and peasants from lands of afar. Lorelei, the sculptor. Lorelei lives with a passion for life, and she carves it all out with her small carving knife. The images grow from her left baby toe, and then up through her right hand the picture does flow. Marika. Marika is great, for she knows how to wait. Like the ocean she moves as she dances her fate. The questions she asks are of life's many tasks, and she tastes all the riddle while warmly she basks. Now this one is on the edge of the book here, so I will hold it up for you. Nellie. Nellie is strong and delicate too. She'll embrace all she can in the deep of the blue. If a storm waves through in the blue of the deep, Nellie brings in the sun with a warm, loving sleep. Onyx. Onyx can fight with a belt that is black, but she only defends, for she does not attack. She's mindful and wise when she faces bad guys. Defending her friends peacefully, Onyx tries. Pasha. Kind of a clown, Pasha. Pasha knows all of the funniest jokes, and she tells them so timely to all of the folks. They ask for some more after one belly roar. Pasha likes being funny, and that we adore. And our scholar, Quintessence. Quintessence reads about all that is past, for she does want to know why the world is so vast. To learn what has been and what has been said, you can just ask Quintessence about what she's read for the metaphysical library. I'll give you a picture of Quintessence. This one is Raina. Raina can help with what you are without. She can bring on the rain if you're caught in a drought. She'll warm you up fast if you're getting too cold with the fire from a dragon, for Raina is bold. And our teeny tiny elemental, Swift Sheila. I wonder whose hand that is. Swift Sheila stands for what's good and what's true. She won't let a wrong happen if she's with you. What's bad is afraid, but not of her size. It's the meaningful gaze in her unchanging eyes. This is Therese and Theone. Therese and Theone are such lucky twins. Theone will complete what Therese begins. When they go to play, Therese starts the mess, and Theone cleans it up, though to us, who would guess? And this one is a riddle because it's fun to ask children which one is Therese and which one is Theone. Which one's creating the mess and which one's cleaning it up? And every child says a different thing. There's no right answer. This is Unia. Unia tried to do all things herself until one day when she could not reach the high shelf. It wasn't her style to let out a yelp. She decided, however, she could ask for help. And this is Vebadine. Vebadine cried when a girl put her down, for it hurt very much, and she felt like a clown. It's quite a good thing she had the insight that the girl could not tell her what's wrong and what's right. Now this one is our dream artist, Wind Willow. Wind Willow dreams about wonderful treats and of having fun times with the people she meets. When Wind Willow wakes, she paints what she dreamt, and she tells her close friends what she feels the dream. Zyla. Zyla hears music in each drop of rain. She likes to write poems beneath her window pane. Most of her poems she puts up on a shelf. Zyla usually writes them just for herself. And for the letter Y, You are the one that makes this book so fun, being special, unique, and as warm as the sun. On this page you sit, with such a good fit, a child of the universe. Yes, you are it. And then we have Zella. Zella says thanks to the flowers she picks. To the great Mother Earth, Zella dances and kicks. Nobody knows what she shall do next. That is why Zella fragrantly perplexed. And I also brought some magnets with images of dream allies from this book, and also a companion book that I never published, but I have all the artwork for, called Joy for Boy, which is it's got masculine. I was working with masculine energy moving through these characters for my son. It was a really interesting exercise. So there are some dream allies, male and female, that you're welcome to take one of those on your way out. And yeah, just a few words about this though is this book, I originally made it as a meditation for girls to empower the divine feminine, but also for boys to empower the divine feminine. So yeah, balancing out the earth, because we've been so out of balance in that way. And when my daughter was born, my first child, Akasha, there weren't books out there that were very empowering for girls. There are a lot of stereotypes and very limited roles for children who are female. So that really inspired me to do this. But what I found in my work as a dream worker with children and parents over the years is that they love reading this, and they love picking which ones they identify with and which they would like to have as a dream ally. And it's always different for the child and for the parents and adults. So I share this with you this evening so that you may take your pick of any dream allies and any future dreams that you have. And anyone watching this video, please know that you have 27 new dream allies. And I believe that's all I really have for my talk tonight. I think I may be a few minutes short of 90 minutes, but thank you.